The Toronto of Frank's youth. The son of Polish immigrants, Gary, born Goldberg, grew up in Canada during the Great Depression. The only Jewish child in his elementary school, he was beaten up for killing Christ. Salvation came in the form of culture. His mother introduced him to classical music concerts at Toronto's Massey Hall. And she took him to the city's art gallery, inspiring a lifelong passion for painting, sculpture, and music.
He grew up in somewhat tough surroundings. I think those sort of toughened him up a certain amount. So the combination of toughness and grit, and yet a love of cultural things, all do come from his childhood. He also had a very close relationship to his grandmother.
She and Frank would sit there and play with these pieces of wood. They'd make little cities, they'd make bridges, they'd make streets. And years later, when he was trying to decide what he wanted to be, he remembered those moments, and he remembered how exciting it was to be able to create something like that and to do it the way you wanted to.
At the same time, his Orthodox grandfather, Samuel, ingrained in Frank a questioning approach to life.
I think that comes from my childhood, studying Talmud with my grandfather. Everything is why, right? Question everything. And why not? And why isn't it? And why can't I?
In his late teens, Frank and the family headed west to Los Angeles in search of a fresh start. And yet, this 21st century star architect began his new life working as a truck driver.
I was 17 and we were very poor. I was a deer in the headlights. I had to get a job and work hard. Studying architecture, once I got there, I appreciated LA.
What you have to remember about Los Angeles in 1947 is it was an incredibly different place than it is today. The frontier spirit of the city ignited something in him as well. Through the 50s and the early 60s, when he was just starting out in his career, Los Angeles was growing along with him.
We could say that his childhood in Canada was formative. LA was transformative. It opened whole new vistas, literally and psychologically, to him.
I was living with a bunch of painters and sculptors, and I was a vacuum cleaner. You know, not consciously, but unconsciously, I was picking up stuff and picking up more methods and way of thinking, of trying things. We could work under the radar. New York didn't care, or Europe didn't care. Nobody cared.
Okay, I'll sing. I'm very eclectic, and I steal ideas from everybody. I'm more into the illusionary qualities of a building and creating a sort of a visual richness without it being there. You almost have to trip over it. I feel like I have pursued a loner course out here, partly because of my conviction about developing personal things.